One thing I think about our classroom is I don't ever think of it in a academic versus non-academic way. There's all sorts of different types of learning, and all of that learning is valuable. And so in that sense, all of it is academic. So the entire trip is academic because they may be learning a skill like how to build a campfire. They might be learning how to saw logs or to split logs with a hatchet. Or they may just be taking a nature hike and stop and see a pretty fungus or a pretty flower and want to know more about it. And we can stop and look at the seeds, or we can stop and look at the leaves, or we can talk about animal footprints that we see. Actually, on our last trip, one of our students, it was really nice, we were finding a lot of deer footprints, and she had studied a little bit about that. And so she was able to kind of stop and present to the other people who were hiking with her how you can tell by looking at the footprint whether the deer was walking or running. So here's a presentation that pops up spontaneously that where one student has an option or the ability to teach another student.
We'll pull some weeds by hand, and then we'll also use some hose and some shovels to take some weeds out too. And we want to get those ready. We want to get those beds ready because the little kids want to plant green beans, right? You like green beans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like soybeans.
Soybeans, okay. And here's the last thing we need to do. We need to turn the compost pile because the compost pile is looking a little smelly because it looks like you've been eating a lot of bananas. Grace, you want to come help me with the tomatoes? Okay. Go grab me the other one. That one's kind of broken.
What other one?
They're sitting along that fence right over there. All right, Muscles. I'm gonna do some measuring here. Stick it in the ground. So we're gonna make sure that these go to the inside. You see how these are going to the inside? Okay, watch out.
Do you want it to be so then it won't get untied?
Yes, so that it won't get untied.
Okay.
That's right. That is, it says celebrity.
This is
That's a celebrity. So put it down here. We gotta, okay, maybe we should plant one of each?
Yeah!
Okay. So you take a celebrity, which one's that? Oh, it's falling up. These tomato plants are gonna send out roots all the way down the vine, okay? So we can plant them almost halfway in the ground, if not more, okay? So I'm gonna dig you the holes. No, I'm gonna dig you the holes, Samantha. You can grab another shovel if you wanna dig a hole, okay? There's some in the barn. And then you guys can plant your tomatoes. You know which ones are yours?
Yep, it's right over there.
What's it called?
It's fine.
All right, you gotta make sure that the soil don't spill out. Okay, put that down in the base of the hole.
But isn't it gonna get buried?
It will. Okay, so
Okay.
hold the top up. Hold the top up just like that for me, okay? I'm gonna fill in the dirt around it. Just like this for me, okay?
Whoa.
Just hold it just like
Guess
that.
what I saw yesterday?
Yes, what did you see?
It was a plant, it was like really big, and it smelled like a dead animal, and it attracts flies.
And where was it at?
It was by the library.
It was by the library. And why do you think it attracts, why do you think it wants to attract insects to the flower by smelling
It
it?
pollinates it.
The insects pollinate it?
Yep.
Right. We take a handful of our straw here. You can kind of just mulch around the tomato like this, kind of make it a nest, right? And this is also going to help other children know exactly where the plant is at too, and what's a plant and what's a weed. So it's one way in which we can show where the plant is at, so people know what to water too. Okay. So we got a couple other tomatoes here. You guys want to help plant tomatoes?
Yeah.
We brought you a yellow pear tomato, always a favorite, right? We also have this Cherokee purple tomato. It's an heirloom. Purple tomato, yeah. So we planted our tomato plants. We put them halfway in the ground. Why did we plant them halfway in the ground?
Because the roots would get all over.
The roots would spread out, right? And then the tomatoes have a good root system established for the summer when it's really hot and maybe some people forget to water, right? Okay, so we got them halfway in the ground. We also put them on a trellis. Why do we put them on a trellis, do you think?
So then they can grow on it.
How do tomato plants grow? They vine, some vine, yeah.
They vine like this.
Some start to vine like that. So as they grow up the trellis, we can weave them through there, right? And then we can just walk up there and pick the tomatoes off as opposed to trying to pick the plants up off the ground, okay? What's one of the most important things to do in the garden?
Water.
Water. All right, we're gonna do some watering today too,
Oh,
okay?
I will go get a watering can.
What?
Do the mowing.
Okay, why don't you go get the push
Water.
mower? You wanna get the watering cans? Excellent, I'm gonna plant the last tomato.
We found it in our big woods that's in the background on a dead tree. When the weather is mild and some types of fungi send mushrooms above ground. A mushroom lasts just a few days, but the rest of the fungus can live for many years. Okay, so we're gonna have mushrooms back on that log. Brad is he's a person that we know, and he's very good at plants. And he told us that it was like a woody mushroom. I want to eat that. Remember that only experts should pick mushrooms to eat. Okay, those look really good. All this talking about good kinds of mushrooms is making me hungry.
My name is Reed Broderson. I am 16 years old and I'm going to zoo school at Lincoln High.
My name's Ben Eichbritt. I'm also 16 and I also go to Lincoln High and zoo school.
The outdoor community was always part of our education, just as was the indoor community. I mean, we were almost spent as much time outside as we did inside, because all the materials out here were used in the lessons as well. So really from the start we were always outside doing stuff with the animals and the plants, and then we come inside and see how that works inside, or just, it was always incorporated with everything.
I kind of brought the outdoors into the classroom too to help us learn about other things.